The more known, the merrier. What could possibly go wrong? Everything, Wallace. Everything. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl's a Netflix original, written and directed by Nick Park, who did Wallace and Gromit as well as Chicken Run. It's like, we're either going to escape or die trying. Oh, those the only choices. Chicken Run was great. The sequel, less so. But this was also co-directed by Merlin Crossingham, who did Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. And that was the first full-length feature of Wallace and Gromit, the British inventor and his great sidekick Gromit, who doesn't say anything but is so goddamn expressive, a tremendous pooch and a tremendous companion. And if you haven't seen any of the Wallace and Gromit shorts or Wallace and Gromit Curse of the Were-Rabbit, please check them out. This particular tale ties back into The Wrong Trousers, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. But this was also written by Mark Burton. No relation to Tim, I don't think, who's done projects like Shaun the Sheep. And, well, Peter Sallis, the original voice of Wallace, unfortunately passed away in 2017. So Ben Whitehead stepped in to voice Wallace, and you know what? He did a really good goddamn job. So if you like Wallace and Gromit, you are going to enjoy this because it ties back into The Wrong Trousers in the sense, if you remember, Feathers McGraw, one of the most unsettling goddamn villains in any stop-motion animated movie. Any animated movie. I don't know how a beady-eyed goddamn bird could be so unsettling, but he is. And after his failed attempt to steal the blue diamond, he is living in an enclosure, shall we say, at the zoo, but he is plotting a vengeance most foul. But how will he pull off this vengeance most foul? Well, let's just say Wallace is going a little bit overboard with his inventions to the point that basically Gromit has to hit buttons to get him out of bed, wash him, feed him, and all that. Cracking toast, Gromit. I'm sorry to any of my British friends. And a bunch of Easter eggs and a bunch of stuff, calling back to the various shorts and everything. It's just really, really nice for those that are fans of it. You're going to really enjoy this stuff. And also, it's just the fact that this animation style still is beautiful, captivating, timeless. And at the center of it all, Wallace and Gromit's friendship. But that gets tested because Wallace's bills are piling up to the point that basically he decides to invent a smart gnome that is called Norbot, a happy, nifty Norbot, and he likes to trim a hedge and no job is too big. Pleased to meet ya. I do have to say the Norbot bot was, or Norbot boss was voiced by Reese Shearsmith, who was in Saltburn and other projects. And I did like how one of the news people was called Anya Doorstep. That's funny. That's funny shit. And then you also have PC Mukherjee, who's voiced by Lauren Patel, who I do think is magnificent in this as well. And you have, various characters that you'll recognize, some new, and just, it's really nice because it's a nice warm cup of tea where you basically get to enjoy something for about 75 goddamn minutes. I mean, it's really not all that long, but it's just still so timeless, so good. We're only a few days into the year. If this isn't on my best films of the year list for 2025, I will be amazed. The reviews for this have been astonishingly good, further proving that you don't need a complex story as long as you have heart and ingenuity and you just rely on a formula while also just allowing the story, just allowing these characters to basically just, draw people in. It's a British inventor, it's his dog, and they're trying to stop a crime wave. And also there's a beady-eyed goddamn bird, Feathers McGraw. So unsettling once again. But basically, after jealousy sets in with Norbot being way too efficient, Gromit basically must help Wallace out when it turns out that, Feathers McGraw has a way to basically get a hold of the blue diamond and also find a way to maybe get vengeance as it were, on Wallace and Gromit for being caught. And that's pretty much it right there. There isn't a lot to spoil, but I'm going to get into spoilers here. It's really, really good. It is really fucking terrific. Your kids are going to like it. You're going to like it. Young, old, ancient, those that are around during World War I are going to goddamn love it. Fan-fucking-tastic. Check it out on Netflix. Really, really great shit. The fact that there's like a boat chase scene later on. There's just some really good stuff with the invention stuff, and it's so timeless. It's so fun. It's so goddamn good. But that being said, I am going to get into spoilers, even a few tugs on the heartstring near the end. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So, yeah, rest in peace, Peter Sallis. He died years ago. Feathers McGraw got caught. He's now in prison. And Feathers basically plotting his vengeance. And Wallace, way too many inventions, all this stuff going on. Cracking toast, Gromit, just a lot of just great callbacks to stuff. And so basically, the smart gnome, nifty, odd-jobbing robot, Norbot, pleased to meet you. There was doing the gardening, pointlessly blowing leaves around. There's just so many witty lines and stuff like that. Chief Macintosh, who answered the call that Wallace placed that would get, that would basically land Feathers McGraw in jail, wants to retire. But he also wants a blue diamond exhibit and stuff like that. And then we find out, maybe the blue diamond isn't exactly where they always thought it was. Mukherjee, great, again, great stuff by Lauren Patel. She's really, really good. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of a spin-off with her character because I think she does a really good job here. Gromit gets understandably jealous. Happy, nifty Norbot, I like to trim a hedge. But Feathers basically has the idea for revenge. I did like how they kept calling back to like these inventions, to the point that Wallace won't even, pet his own dog. And there's also this old teapot that hasn't been used in years. Gee, I wonder where the diamond is. It's in the teapot, by the way. The loud recharging process of Norbot to the point that Wallace or Gromit can't even sleep, so he plugs him into an old computer in the basement, and it turns out that computer somehow is connected to the information superhighway so much that basically Feathers McGraw invents this long thing along with the red, the red like glove that he had on his head to have this like extendo arm to basically find out where, Wallace and Gromit live. Because it turns out that, yes, Feathers McGraw actually handed, put the diamond in the teapot, and if he ever got out, he would find a way to get that. So, he basically hacks into Norbot and gets gets him to turn evil. He invents his own army. It's actually some really good, shots of the army of bots that now they're going to turn this home improvement service into basically stealing a whole bunch of stuff so they can create stuff for Mr. McGraw. And Wallace basically gets framed by him, the police. Macintosh is convinced it's Wallace, even though he stopped that crime. Mukherjee isn't exactly that convinced. I did like how basically they took every invention from the goddamn house, showing Wallace is a little bit too reliant on particular technology. There's this gnome targeting or gnome finder deal that basically it's so funny because you have the two cops that don't realize that Gromit manages to get on the motorcycle built for two and get the thing, and then manages to find them. It turns out they're underground. They invented a submarine with all those scrap parts that they stole. The citizens are upset at Wallace. And I did like how when Gromit broke into the zoo, you have McGraw just petting a seal, like a Bond villain petting a cat. No, Mr. Gromit, I expect you to die. Norbot got reset though, just in time to basically save him from Gromit from a lion. I mean, sort of. Trims him to where he has like this flat top mane. It was actually pretty hilarious. It turns out that Macintosh didn't check the bag, and he's had a turnip this whole time, so you can't really display a turnip for a blue diamond exhibit. And yeah, it's in the teapot. Feathers McGraw is getting away, but they pursue him on boat because Norbot is able to help them. And then they take the cop's boat, Macintosh's boat. They get all these boots it's a collection of boots that he has there for some reason. And they end up creating another invention where they're basically shooting the boots at the bots, at the, the clone bots, and they get reset. They fall in the water, but then they get scooped up, so now they're on their side. But McGraw has one more trick up his sleeve. Go along this canal on this big bridge, and, well, suddenly, yeah, it looks like they're fucked because suddenly Gromit ends up, the boats end up like this. Gromit's hanging off, and McGraw's like, toss me the diamond. Toss me the goddamn diamond. Toss me a diamond. And he does, but then he steps off, he gets his umbrella, and then suddenly the boat falls. And the one line that got me was like, I can live without inventing, but I can't live without my best pal. It's like, oh, Claymation, how dare you hit in the feels. But it looks like Gromit's dead. I go, what? No, don't you dare do that. And then all the Norbots get him. Hi, pleased to meet you. And then the idea is okay, shit, well, he's got the blue diamond. No, he doesn't. Gromit managed to switch it. He managed to switch it, and ha ha ha! And now Feathers McGraw has a turnip. He escaped jail, but he didn't get the diamond. And everything's good. The Norbots are good with their gardening. Seemingly they are doing home improvement stuff, and everything's good. And it's a jolly good thing, and it's great. A+. Great shit. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.